Long Island, where our friends are from, including South Dakota. Even though it gets a little extreme there, still within the temperate zone. And you're from where?
Texas.
Ah, definitely. A little bit southern tier, but still temperate. Okay? And we're not going to mess with you, don't worry.
Okay.
So in our standard macrobiotic diet, our main food is what? Primary food. Every day we need to eat from this group. What, guys?
Grain.
Usually no grain, right? Whole grain, isn't it? And here we emphasize the brown rice for a variety of reasons, which we'll study. Okay? The next, after whole grain, we have soup, right? Have you tried our soup?
Yes.
And soup is emphasized every day, usually at the beginning of the meal, to prepare your digestion for your meals. And also, as you're discovering, to provide you with a source of fermentation. For example, miso is fermented soybean paste. And what benefit is that giving you, fermentation? What do you get?
Digestion.
Like probiotics, right? Okay? Which have many positive benefits. Right? The next category, vegetables. So as you can see, on our dining buffet, every meal, many different vegetable side dishes are there. And are you sampling them all, taking a little bit of each and trying? Including cooked vegetables and including salad. Or including pressed salad. Have you tried that?
Mm-hmm.
Very delicious, right? And then beans and sea vegetables. We put those together. Okay. This beans in combination with grain gives you a very good protein balance. Very adequate. Have you discovered? So did you know the soybean has more protein than beef? Are you aware? And that's why it was so treasured in Asian countries, for its protein value. And various methods of extracting and utilizing that protein through processing, natural processing, were invented. So what are some of those? Some we mentioned already. Like what? Every day you're using for your soup. Miso, right? Also tofu. Also, have you tried tempeh? Whole fermented soy beans. Very delicious. Very wonderful substitute for chicken. Or even some people are using it to substitute for bacon.
I saw that.
Have you tried it?
No, I saw the recipe.
I think in New York City, some natural food deli is serving. You can try it when you go back. TLT. You know BLT, right? What is TLT? Tempeh lettuce tomato sandwich, not bacon. Okay? All right. So that's this category. And then sea vegetables. And sea vegetables are used for additional minerals, including calcium, including iron. And most often they're used in small amounts in our broth or stock, so-called soup, or as condiments. Now, have you seen in the store powdered sea vegetable condiments from Maine? Have you seen those, like dulse or kelp? Please use those every day. Do you know what they're supplying you with in your diet that, for example, sea salt doesn't have? Do you know? Iodine.
Iodine.
They're a very good source of iodine, and they're very low in sodium. So ideal for daily use, sprinkled on brown rice or other dishes, right? Okay? So in addition to this, this is our basic, we can say our basic 4 food groups, right? The next, we have supplementary foods. Things which are eaten either less often or in small amounts, things like condiments or pickles, right? Daily, right? But small amounts compared to these, right? Okay. These will fill in as we go on, right? So this is our basic, the outline, right? Standard diet. which I hope you're all able to now begin implementing. But let's see then, using our menu for cooking class here at Mini Way to Health, how the different and where the different dishes on today's menu fit. So how about the first dish? Brown rice with chestnuts. So what category are we touching with this dish? We're using from where? Here, right? Whole grain. So brown rice. And we're doing what? Adding what to the rice? Something that you wouldn't normally add, but sometimes you do. For what effect? We're adding a nut. Chestnut. So nuts are in this group here. And what is, unlike other nuts, what is the benefit and use of the chestnut? For what? Not so much snack, yes, sometimes when you're in Central Park, right? Just the chestnut. But more for what? What flavor do you know? Cooked chestnut. Wonderfully, subtly, satisfyingly sweet. So we're adding the nuts, right, to make a little bit sweet. So if you have a craving for sweets, even on your macrobiotic, then you can use these dried chestnuts for a wonderful sweet taste. And one way to do that is to put them right in your main brown rice dish, which you're going to learn how to do today. Isn't that great? All right. Then next is burdock and carrot kimpura. Okay? So carrot, obviously, comes from where? Comes from the vegetable category, right? We use it often. The dish is called kimpura. Have you heard of burdock? Burdock. Burdock is a wild root vegetable. Here it is. You can go out in the backyard and harvest it. Anyone volunteer? No. It grows very deep. So it takes a lot of effort to dig it out. And it has these broad elephant ear leaves. And the seed pods are like sticky burrs that stick to your clothing. You've seen it growing wild. It's a wild plant around here. Does anybody, do you have it in South Dakota? No? How about Long Island? You haven't seen it. It's all over our property here in the Berkshires. Wild. This is cultivated because we're frankly too lazy and we don't have the time to go out and dig it. So we buy it. But you can dig it. So the fact that this root grows deep in the earth, the fact that these carrots are not growing up, yes, they have a green part, but the root portion that we're using is down. What kind of energy is this, do you think? On the whole, more yin or more yang energy?
Yeah.
Very good, yang energy. So this kimpura, slow, kind of like slow saute dish. How long? 15 minutes? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Slow. Cooking the energy down. Concentrating the energy in. This is a more yang energizing dish, right? And as you can imagine, a long exposure to heat, flame, means that energy is being absorbed into the foods. So what kind of effect on your body when you eat that? Warming or cooling? Warming. So this particular dish, even though we're showing it to you in August, is most appropriate in the fall and winter for warming, for strengthening, okay? Then also, we have boiled salad. This is the opposite of kimpura. Boiled salad means, very often you take greens. What are we using today? Radish, collard, right? Cauliflower. And boil water, and then dip in for like 30 seconds to a minute, right? and then take out. So they're still crispy, they're still crunchy, but slightly cooked. Slightly easier on the digestion than pure raw vegetables, right? So you know, like raw cauliflower, real, right? But when you blanch it, then it becomes very, very easy to eat, very accessible. So that quick, light cooking, plus greens, right? For example, collard is our main green here. Compared to this, how are they different? Which is more yin, which is more yang?
The greens are yin.
This is going up, right? This is obviously more yin, okay? So this dish on the whole is relaxing, cooling, very appropriate for hot or summer weather. As is fresh salad also, right? Which, as you know, is very cooling. Okay. The next, for your salad. Plain salad can be boring, right? Very often you need what? Dressing. So we're making creamy tofu dressing. So what category, within our standard category, is this coming? Creamy tofu dressing. Coming from which? Tofu is a product of what? What? Tofu is made from soybeans. So that's obviously here, right? Soy, and then tofu. So what are we getting with our creamy tofu dressing? What's the benefit of tofu? Good protein, very good. Good calcium. And also so-called phytoestrogen. Have you heard of these? Phyto means what? Phyto means plant. Plant compounds which act like estrogen in the body, which counteract the negative effects of menopause, such as hot flashes. You know, estrogen is cooling your body down. So this phytoestrogen also has a cooling effect. So in Asian countries, they have no word for hot flash where they eat tofu. This is cooling. And there's evidence showing these phytoestrogens are neutralizing in the body bad estrogens, especially those linked with the breast and endometrial cancers, right? Protecting. So the rates of those conditions in China and Japan are far lower than they are in America. Are you aware of that? And they're eating these foods practically every day. All right? Okay, the next, amasake. Do you know what amasake is? Amasake pudding. Amasake is fermented rice liquid. So it's coming from, again, the grain category. Fermented brown rice. Slightly sour, but also slightly sweet. So what we're getting, we're releasing in amasake the natural sweet taste of grain, brown rice. So we count that actually as a dessert. Amasake is considered the basis for many types of dessert, although it's derived from whole brown rice. Okay? Then finally, you can see at the bottom, carrot daikon drink. Do you know why this is there and what the purpose of this is? I think some of you can use this to great benefit. Carrot daikon drink.